Problem. How many permutations of the word square have the Q and U next to each other? If you haven't already had a think about this problem, pause the video now and have a think about it. Okay, so let's look at how we could solve this problem. I'm going to show you two ways that we might look at solving this problem. I'll split my page in two. The first one is to think about it as, well, the Q and U have to be together. So I'm going to block them together. So I'm going to block the Q and U together. So they're always next to each other. And what that means is, in this word square, I have S, Q and U, A, R, E. That is, I now have 5 blocks. So if I have 5 blocks, I can arrange those 5 blocks in 5 factorial ways. So there are 5 factorial ways of arranging the 5 blocks. Okay? 4 of those blocks are just a letter, S, A, R, or E, and one of those blocks is the Q and the U together. So that's part of the solution, but I also have to deal with something else. And I have the permutations of QU. Oh, permutations. Spell that right, shall I? Permutations of Q and U. And there are 2 factorial permutations of Q and U. So the answer here is 5 factorial times, because it's and, 2 factorial. That's 120 times 2 is 240. Now let's think about the other way of thinking about this problem. Now this time I'm going to remove the Q and the U. I remove the Q and U, I have 4 remaining letters. And they can be arranged in 4 factorial ways. And I have 2 factorial permutations of Q and U in much the same way as in the previous method. And there's one more criteria here. So I'm going to think about, again, my blocks. At the moment, I've got 4 letters. But now I'm going to think, where can that QU go? Well, rather than thinking about the spaces that have letters, I'm going to think about the spaces that don't have letters. There are 5 possible spaces that I could put the QU in. But I need to choose one of them. So there are 5 choose one places to put QU. So in total I have 4 factorial times 2 factorial times 5 choose 1, which also gives me 240. So there are multiple different ways to approach this kind of problem. I've shown you 2, you might think of another one. You can either think of them as a block and think about arranging the blocks and permuting within the blocks, or you can think about what you're left with if you take them out and then the number of places you can put them back in. We're going to see in various examples through this rest of this skill that one or the other is sometimes more useful depending on the scenario.